Hello, welcome back to DVB Vox Pop. I'm Yingsu. For this week's episode, I invited Kyaw, who is the Director of Research Centers of Irrawaddy Law School. Kyaw, welcome to DVB Vox Pop.
Yeah, so thanks for having me.
Can you briefly introduce yourself?
My name is Kyaw, and I'm the Director of the Research Center in Irrawaddy Law School, and also do other research activities and based on the situation of Myanmar and conflict situation and also the political situation in Myanmar.
What makes you interested to attend the law school?
I believe that I am stronger the argument and some other activity about debating or some other activity. So, but I'm not quite sure what I'm interested in about the law. But at the time, one of my teachers or kind of mentors supposed that so you should be attend the law department because that kind of skill to debating or arguing the case or something like that. But to be honestly, I first in the first year I didn't really interested in about the law at all. But when I studied the subject of jurisprudence, kind of legal science or legal philosophy. So at the time I'm interested about what the John Austin said, what the Solomon said is kind of legal philosopher or legal academia. So they're the most influential person in the legal history. They are emphasizing on their rights and their responsibility and also the moral rights and the natural law, the positivism law. So I'm interested about this subject and I really want to learn more about the philosophy of law. At the end of the second year and third year, so I joined one of the organizations at the intern and also kind of legislative analytic assistant as part of their team. At the time, I have absorbing from the other academia and other expert on the law. So at the time, I have a chance to meet with that kind of person and discuss about the law. So that I really reflect the Myanmar situation at the time. We have a chance to engage with parliament to advocacy or lobbying the law to input that kind of human rights standards, norms, and the other kind of community participation, inclusiveness standards, based upon the law analytics and suggesting to amend some kind of facts based on the evidence and based on the analytics. After the fourth year and the final year, and I have a chance to attend the master course in Myanmar, but unfortunately there is COVID pandemic happened and also the coup. So I withdraw and join the CDM and didn't attend the master course at law in Myanmar.
That's pretty interesting. So, I mean, you have been really familiar with law and, working in the NGO and also really have a close relationship with the parliament members. So what is being a law student in Myanmar?
Yeah. Some of the military personnel is argue that so they don't want to be to open the inclusiveness of the public participation. I'm not so sure where they are concerned about it, but some of their argument is to be barrier of the inclusiveness of the participation of people in the policy drafting process and also the policy implementation and policy evaluation process. For the liberal democracy concept, we need to be deterred from the imprisonment to pay the some money or other punishment as well. For the military point of view, so they have to be criminalized and they do the prevalence of law and order and also the suppressing the community because they believe that the law can be maintained by the society in order to to hire in prison and to enhance the to fine or something like that. So at the time we have some debate or clash between that kind of argument at the parliament. There is one of the example. So there are a lot of scenario discussion point on that parliament.
So on February 1st, the military seized power and started the coup. Upon that, how do you feel about it and with what kind of activities did you participate in this revolution?
We are never like to hold about that kind of situation for the military coup. To be honestly, I have like end of the January 2021. I have a plan to watch the television on like our new governments and new parliament for like February 1st. So unfortunately, there's a military coup happen. So at the time, like most of the people, like youth, including me, like also we feel like we are hopeless because we have a plan or agenda to within 1 to 2 years, because we have a plan to like attend the master course and attend to do the job. At the time we have like hopeless, and also in the meantime we feel like sad for our country. At the time of the February 1st 2021, so I was suddenly quick and leave from my house and go to the some other area that I usually meet or gathering with my friends. All of like didn't know about the futures, or they didn't know about how can we do at the time. So before discussing is like we have like decided, so let's go, shall we go to the near the Sule Pakura or something like that? They have a lot of people or like a lot of soldiers. So we went there, and then at the time we was a lot of soldiers, and like they are Yangon like member of parliament. Most of the member of parliament from the Yangon region, so is like detaining in the municipal building in Yangon near the Sule Pakura. Our like phone connection is cut off, and like no cannot access the internet connection. And then like as far as I know, like in the evening we can contact again, like our phone connection is like able to connect again. So at the time I connect with some of my friends, because I have come from the student like union background and also the student activist background, and before that even in the civilian government, a lot of like military informer like sessions and investigation and stalking for the student leader in Myanmar. I'm searching about the news about the military coup, and 2 days and 3 days after the coup, Kutisa Sam from the Mandalay, so he is like started to the lead the protest, and like some of my friends from the student union, so they reached out to me. We have a plan to protest with like directly from the all Burma Federation of Student Union, so in Sanjao. I also lead to Sticker campaign, and also a lot of campaign from at the time. They have a lot of arbitrary arrests at that night to the political like activists and pro-democracy activists, and also the student union activists. I discussed with some of my friends who are from the law, so we have to do something for the legal aid support or the paralegal at the time, because most of the people needs the legal needs to know more about the law, the other than. So that's why we do like some other paralegal work. More than 300 cases that we supported to the client as a legal aid support.
Starting from February 25, the military like brutally cracked down the peaceful protests, by using live round bullets and kill hundreds of protesters. On that situation, I understand it was like completely human rights violation. So, but as someone who understands well about law, what's your opinion on that?
Even as a military coup is not inconsistent with the constitution and law at all, because according to the law, the president only be conferred the power to the director general of the military council. But at the time our president Umi is in a prison, so they really didn't confer the power to that people. And also a lot of like arguments or like theory pointed out, and also the international community pointed out that's not inconsistent with the law. And also like military is like pointed out that given the reason that like election fraud. But at the time this obviously that most of the youth is even participated in like election monitoring as a volunteer. So most of the youth already know that there is a free and fair, kind of free and fair election, because like there might be some other area is there need to be like like error, like maybe some error for the voting process. But this fact is not to be evidence of the like election fraud or sham election for the whole election. But military could happen there's a kind of like for the violation of election law, and also at the time of the military coup, and after there are a lot of like brutally breakdown and arbitrary arrests. Myanmar military is it's like to amend the law as they wish, most of the law, including like privacy and like protection of privacy and security of the citizen law. So they suspend the law and also amend the like penal code section 505. That is like directly related to the political prisoner. All of us are known that they are like inconsistent with any other kind of domestic law and also the international law.
Like you said, you gave legal aid, to the people, to the people, and also the detained prisoners and political activists. Because of these actions, did the military threaten you or search your houses?
As I already mentioned, that since February facts, so I quit my home and go like and stay with the other friends out and like safe house. 2 times searched by the Myanmar military at the safe house, but I'm not quite sure about is kind of to do that kind of law or paralegal legal support or join the protest or something like that.
Because of those actions, you went to the liberated area of the KNU.
We are living in other places and other like family house and other friends house. So I'm concerned that for me due to my like our situation, so we really don't want to like arrested or like
of course,
break down by the Myanmar military to the other family. That's why like we moved to the like KNU liberated area, Brigade 6 and Brigade 7 area in current state.
How did you manage to travel to the liberated areas of KNU?
And there are a lot of like barriers and like like investigation, like gate and a lot of like inquiry about that situation, and a lot of the military personnel is like at the security guard in even at the like long way of like highway road. I directly went to the like Pa'an township, like Wapudo or something like that. So and when I went there, most of my friends and juniors test me, so they really want to join and they really want to go there because they all of us are like even not safe anymore for living in their house. For me, I'm like very first experience to go to the Karen, and I've never been experienced and to connect with the ethnic and control organization and control area. At the time, even in the KNU area, there is a lot of protests. And also even in the ethnic control camp, like ethnic KNLA camp, they've been trying to set up the situation. They've, as far as I know, they've been never like ready to fight because there's an NCA ceasefire agreement, and all of them are like go back to their like family camp or send others a refugee camp. They're trying to like regather or like recruit the organizations or the military personnel or combatants at the time. Most of the like pro-democracy activists and also the political leader and member of parliament from the NLD is like to run it with at the time, and the KMU is warmly welcome at the time, and they have like been given the place to live in there at a CDM camp.
So from that liberated area, you decided to move to Thailand, right?
At the time, I have a chance to to attend the course offered from the scholarship from the Thai University. So unfortunately, I decided like I'm attending what like at the time because COVID pandemic is still happening, and I can join with online. So I joined with online, and like they are like they engage with me. So they really want to go back to the Yangon and also to the Thailand. So at the time I decided that I moved to the Thailand, and I can like stay at the safe place even at the Thai Bangkok and also the Mae Sao area. So I decided to move to the Thailand, and in the meantime I like attend the Sangha master course and also take the revolutionary activities at the time.
So then, since you're in Thailand and also and I know that you're working on your thesis is about the gender-based violence research in the KNU area. So what is interesting about that, and can you tell me more about your thesis?
The thesis is like quite related to the scenario when I stay there in current state. When I stay in current state, so I have like a chance to engage with the community people that feel like really a long term like asylum and also like refugee status in like Thai Myanmar border camp, who they are like really like as their child or as their like colleague or as their friends. So they are very warmly welcome to the young people from the Burma ethnic. So I have a chance to like talk with them, and they are like some of their challenges and some of their like like barrier from the access to decision making, or they are like core problem from the community level. So at the time I think that there are a lot of like women and children in the refugee camp. Most of the men are trying the armed resistance. So but women is like you believe that they are not kind of like leading or like decision making role in the community, because like most of the young is like they already like our community like to join the armed resistance and defense like of X. So most of the like women in current state believe that, especially in the Thai Myanmar border area. So I'm interested about that situation, and they have like and the slow government, Tanshui as an ORC government, they have a lot of fighting and focus strategy and a lot of human rights violation at the time. And women and girls suffer from the sexual violence, gender-based violence, and also even the domestic violence. But after the NC period, they are like the cases like decrease. But after the 2021 military coup, they have like a lot of various control area and fighting broke out again. There might be like kind of like gender-based violence and other violence like happening again. But it's the number of the case number of like gender-based violence is like to be honest, is not more than the before the Tanshui government, because Myanmar military is they really didn't like enter the area of the KNU control area. So there's a and then but most of the women is like still not participated in the decision making room, like even the all level, like not for the community level, like for the micro level or macro level, decision making, even at the KNU steering committee and also township district level, or most of the level, movement are like still challenges to participate in the decision making, and that effort to the like kind of gender-based violence, domestic violence and other sexual violence, even the rape. So I believe that like if I have a chance, I will do that kind of research in community, because I have like already engaged with the community, and I really know more about their problem, their core problem at the community. This is not from the secondary. So this is based on my own hearing and based on the interview. So I really like want to do that kind of research.
So that means like females in the KNU area are still not involving in the decision making or anything?
Yeah, as far as my research, there's like a lot of women is still like challenges to participate in the decision making process. So
why is that? I mean, like as an outsider, why do you think the KNU males are not giving any space for the women? I mean, like now that we are in the very developing world, so male and female are like, I mean, all of the companies and all of the the workplaces prioritize on the balance of the male and female quality, and everything. But in the KNU state, I mean, we can say that it's male dominant area, right?
Yeah.
So why is it happening? I'm really interested about it.
For my understanding, from my research, based on our research, so there's like quite interesting for the anti-violence factor, because end conflict, along with the end conflict, there have been gender-based violence, sexual violence, is like a lot of human rights violation and atrocities along with the end conflict, and mostly like perpetrated by the Myanmar military. It's not from the KNU, but in Kachin state, in Shan state as well. But KNU is like war long experience on the like armed resistance movement in Myanmar. So they have experienced they have faced a lot of atrocity and human rights violation, especially gender-based violence in that area, especially in the sanctuary military government. So they have a lot of fighting, and they have sexual violence committed by the Myanmar military. KNU has already have the KWO, Current Women Organization. That is a women organization of KNU, and so KWO is like do more about the protection and prevention of the gender-based violence in an conflict situation. But after that, and at the time of the NCA agreement, and also after the military coup, 2021 military coup, there have been sexual violence is protected and prevented by the armed resistance authority like KNU, KNLA, and also the PDF as well. But they believe that they have to protect or prevent women. They are like protector, they are the preventer, and the women again as a vulnerable, and they need to be like safe by men to be like safety, to ensure the safety of the woman. So, and automatically men are dominant in the decision making, that affect the decision making as an implication. Most of the armed resistance is based on the militarism. So militarism is based on the like male dominance. So that's like connect with each other. So that is there's one reason. And the another is like there is, as we all already know, that religiosity is like religious influence, and there need to be like their policy and their decision is like partly affect from the woman to like endure like impartiality or like marginalized women from the decision making. So that's one. And as far as I know, like before the military coup, they have a chance to like leading a woman in the various villages, because at the time they have like and conflict, and they're fighting progress again. Most of the men are joining the KNLA and other like resistance, and they will go to the front line. At the time, most of the women, girls and children and the older people are left in their refugee camp and other like village as well. So at the time, they just care about that, and they appointed as a like leader from the leader of like woman leader of their camp or their village. So as far as I know, like more than 300 female villager leader at the time, before the NCA period. But at the time of the NCA period, like there's a ceasefire, like except from the Brigade 5, and most of the people fighting protocol again. And then most of the like men, like combat men, is like came back from their refugee camp and their home. So at the time, so we are also the leader again.
That's very interesting.
Without reason. So male dominant. No, that's what is the situation? One or two like female leader is still, and then most of the leader is changing from the woman to the man. I didn't mention, and I don't want to mention about the Myanmar military side, because the Myanmar military is like still male dominant and nationalist. So I cannot like point it out, but there's too obvious. But for the current is most of the like armed resistance leader and pro democracy like revolutionaries, like their ideology is based on the liberal democracy idea. They respect the human right, but they have like to be like a man or like change their decision as a change maker. So that's why I pointed out that point in my finding of my thesis and also the kind of research paper in another academic journal.
As you mentioned, you are the directors of the research centers of Irrawaddy Law School. So can you explain, how do you get the idea to establish the law school for the Burmese student?
At the time, we already know that most of the people join the CDM movement and cannot attend a school yet, and at the time we have like I'm like sure and like already like thinking about their needs of like alternative education, because education is quite important and there is no job like not completing the bachelor or master degree program. There is like challenges for the like job vacancy or other like activity, and also the survival. When we set up the law school, so we have like there's two OPBS. We need to do the funding, and also we need to do the kind of activities, the network. Professor from the CDM side is like to support the kind of academic activity, the teaching and leading the school as a teaching, and also connect with the other like foreign university for the accreditation. Most of the like law students who join the CDM is also joined our like academic activities, but academic accreditation is quite important for their access to education and for the fulfillment of their joblessness. So that's one of like our side to like engage and coordinate with other like kind of activity, and also that Myanmar legal education is trying to support to the like research-based education. We have never been experienced about the like research-based legal, especially legal research-based education in Myanmar. So along with the revolution, we believe that we are trying to change the agenda and the function of the academic institution as like international level. So I like the research center, and also kind of open the research methodology class, and also take kind of like legal research. So that's one of my like activities when I do in like Irrawaddy Law School. But our like criteria is that our participant or student must be the CDM, join the CDM movement, because we cannot support the other students that are joining another like supervision of the Myanmar military. So yeah, that's one of my function, and do as much as I can for the alternative education in Myanmar.
I thought the Irrawaddy Law School is for all students in Myanmar, but no, only for the CDM students.
Yeah, only
right?
for the CDM student.
And also CDM professor will be teaching it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that need to be like we do as the kind of bridge between the CDM student and the CDM teacher. So but that's really neat.
Yeah. So all of the teachings are only online, right?
Yeah. But we have like we have a plan to open the on-site on complex in the center of the liberated area. But we have a plan, because military airstrike is every day. So there's a dangerous for like we need to think about safety and safe environment of the academic campus. So that's why we have a plan, and we have like the strategy to like open the on-site campus on the one day like that, but I'm not so sure. Yeah,
that's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Well, because of our time limits, thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me, and yeah, so thanks for like giving the opportunity to touch my experience and my my opinion about the situation in Myanmar, and after like especially after the military coup.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Through borders, they can't hold us. Our ancestors already showed us. Didn't come in a car, came in a whole bus. And they thought they already broke us. But nah. Let me hear y'all say nah.